Hi, all my Florida friends. So nice to see you all.
Same here.
Hi. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Tim.
Howdy.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are you? I haven't seen you in years.
Lots to talk about, but getting better. How are you? We missed
But
you. Getting back on the game, hopefully, with collaborative again.
you're welcome to come back into the water. The temperature is fine.
Thank you, Robert. And looking forward to hear more about this week, the organization of the collaborative week.
Tim will tell you all about it.
Just wind me up and let me go.
No, I'm here to stay. Equipped with coffee.
We have 16 people. Give it a little bit more time. Okay, I think I'm going to start. We have about 17 people now. And I want to introduce the webinar that's going to be presented by Tim Crouch of the Tim Crouch Group, which includes Tim, Charles Crouch, and Camille Milner. Camille's a Texas collaborative divorce attorney. Tim and Charles are part of the Crouch Group, which is a marketing and advertising agency that works with collaborative groups and professionals in a lot of states: Texas, California, Florida, Washington, Illinois, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Ohio, Oregon, Arizona, Tennessee, Missouri, Louisiana, in England, Canada, and Australia. That's pretty impressive. Anyway, we're very, very lucky to have Tim, and he is going to tell us all about Divorce with Respect Week. And he's also going to be presenting at our conference, FACP conference in May. So with great pride, I introduce Tim. So take it away, Tim.
Thank you very much, Lana. And it's good to have the chance to be with you today to talk about Divorce with Respect Week and what that really is all about, a little bit about the history of it, just to add to a little bit of our part of this is that my wife is Camille Milner, who about 10 or 12 years ago was the president of Collaborative Divorce Texas, and at the time they were the Collaborative Law Institute of Texas. And they were struggling, as many collaborative professionals are, with the whole question of getting cases. It remains, I think, the number one challenge that folks have. And they brought me in to kind of talk a little bit about that. And we talked about, just not people not knowing what it is, and that in the Collaborative Law Institute of Texas, it was a lofty sounding name, but it didn't tell anybody what you did. And if you were looking for a divorce, there was no reason you would go that direction. In that meeting, they changed the name of the Institute to Collaborative Divorce Texas. And and decided that they needed for me to help them in terms of building brand awareness and those kinds of things. We expanded. We were fortunate enough to be able to expand the work that we were doing into California, thanks to Pauline Tesler. And in California, we launched Divorce with Respect Week in 2021. Happened to coincide when the IACP Forum was in San Diego. And we launched it that year in California only, and have since been expanding it. Just another word about my wife, Camille. She was a Stu Webb lecturer at IACP 1 year. She is a master credentialed collaborative professional in Texas, and I know you have your credentialing program. The master level is that you've done 50 or more cases and some things like that that go with it. And I like to say we eat, live, and breathe at collaborative at my house, because she talks about it all the time. And so we've been fortunate in our business to have been able to sort of do some exciting things with this of how do we create this brand awareness. And Divorce with Respect Week is one of the ways that we have done that with our clients over the last several years. So do I have permission to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and well, I'm gonna try to share the right screen. Let's start over again here. And I've got just a little bit of a PowerPoint to talk specifically about Divorce with Respect Week and some of how it can benefit your practice. So the dates of Divorce with Respect Week are March 3rd through 9th. This is the 4th year that we've had Divorce with Respect Week, started by the CP Cal group in 2021. It has expanded nationally. We've had about 20 states participate. This is the first year for Florida to participate. We've had 38 plus practice groups that are involved in Divorce with Respect Week. In Divorce with Respect Week, what is asked of professionals is that you offer to do 3 30-minute virtual consultations for free. But I think it's important to say it's not about the consultation. This is not limited to driving a business for you this 1 week. There'll be some consultations that will happen, but this is really about how do we begin brand building and driving more awareness of collaborative. It's really about spreading the word about collaborative. Now, I'll talk a little bit here about the consultation. How you do the consultation is up to you. If you're signed up and listed on the Divorce with Respect Week website and somebody would like to do a consultation with you, you'll receive an email. You schedule it. It doesn't have to be scheduled between March 3rd and 9th. You can schedule it at your convenience and that potential client's convenience. And what you talk about in that consultation, hopefully, is collaborative, but also answering their divorce questions, because these are people who are seeking information, trying to learn about their options, trying to learn more about the divorce process. And so it's the opportunity to have that kind of conversation, and potentially you may convert it into a client if that opportunity presents itself. But the other thing that I would just tell you about this is that we will have, and I'll give you some numbers in a moment, we'll have 15 to 20,000 visits to the website. That's the other thing that is happening during Divorce with Respect Week. People are coming to the website, looking for information, looking at who might be in their area, but they're not ready to talk to anybody yet. But we're building awareness so that when they are ready to talk to somebody, they may come back to the Divorce with Respect Week site and ask for a consultation. We had one as late as September of this last year. But nobody has to honor it outside of the Divorce with Respect Week window. But we do have people who come back to the site. The other thing that we really are hoping that we're doing here is that when they have gathered this information and they come in, they're asking for the case to be handled collaboratively because they've seen information about it, they've learned about it, and they know that this is something that would be good for them and for their family. Excuse me, just a minute there. What goes into Divorce with Respect Week? Among the things that we recommend are getting proclamations, state, county, city proclamations declaring it Divorce with Respect Week. Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez has already done that for the state of Florida. So the state of Florida is declaring March 3rd through 9th as Divorce with Respect Week in Florida. Those become kind of media alerts, if you would. We also want to be working on cities to get your local cities, and they don't have to be the big cities. They can be the little cities. I had a contact today with somebody who's wanting to work on that for New Smyrna Beach. And has contacts with the city council members there to try to get New Smyrna Beach to declare it Divorce with Respect Week. What that does is when you get those kinds of local proclamations, it activates the city's channels, and the cities are putting word out about, hey, we've declared a Divorce with Respect Week. You get to go in many cases to a council meeting and have a picture taken with the mayor. The mayor may read the proclamation in the council meeting. You have your group do the photo there. You may do a photo not in a council meeting setting, but there are opportunities to spread the word in that way. And then we'll do more with those proclamations as well from the standpoint of promoting Divorce with Respect Week. The other thing that it does is it creates some sort of heads up for people who are reporters covering city news. So that one of the things that we had happen in Santa Clara, California, a couple of years ago was that they declared it Divorce with Respect Week. A reporter was interested in that, did a story on it with Melissa Lennon, who is an MHP who had kind of spearheaded the initiative in Santa Clara. And they did a newspaper story about it. That was great. And you might have thought that was the end of it. But 6 months later, she got a call, Melissa got a call from a reporter with the New York Times wanting to do a story on the fact that people are getting divorced and they're not mad at each other anymore. And she actually asked me, is this real? Should I call them back? And I said, yes, call them back. And they did the story about that 6 months later. This is part of this initiative that goes beyond just what happens during Divorce with Respect Week, but telling people more about the collaborative process and what a difference it makes in folks' lives. Media coverage becomes then part of that. I mentioned the newspaper in Santa Clara, television media, radio, podcasts, those kinds of things are all part of that. And I had a meeting with Ray Trandley in Orlando, who apparently does quite a bit of media work in his practice, and he's making connections with the Orlando media. We wrote a radio script for him for a 15 and a 30-second spot, and this may or may not be what ends up, but he's doing some radio for Divorce with Respect Week. This 30-second script is: divorce doesn't have to be a battle. Collaborative Divorce offers an alternative to the courtroom where you can find peaceful resolutions. March 3rd through 9th is Divorce with Respect Week in Florida. During Divorce with Respect Week, you can talk with Florida divorce attorneys, financial professionals, and coaches for free to learn more about a better way to untie the knot. Go to divorcewithrespectweek.com to find a divorce professional near you and schedule a free consultation. Stay out of court. Choose collaborative divorce. So that's one of the scripts that we submitted to Ray as he's putting it together. But we're also looking for opportunities to do free media more than anything else. And in St. Louis last year, they had the opportunity to be on one of the news programs.
This week is Divorce with Respect Week, and a look at the numbers shows the rate of divorce in America is rising. According to the U.S. Census data, the national divorce rate in 2022 was 7.1 out of every 1,000 women. That's up more than 3% from the previous year. The divorce rate in Missouri was up 2.5% at 7.4. Illinois further down on that list with the divorce rate of 5.7. Now, while divorce can be stressful and contentious, a group in St. Louis is looking to help people divorce with dignity. And joining us today, we have Sarah Marler with us with the St. Louis Collaborative Family Law Association. Sarah, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today. This is a topic that I think it affects too many people, but it's a reality for those. And with it being Divorce and with Respect Week, I just want to kind of get an understanding of what that is and how is divorce with dignity really possible?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, the St. Louis Collaborative Family Law Association is really excited to recognize Divorce with Respect Week. It's actually been recognized by the state of Missouri this year and also by the St. Louis County, St. Louis Family Courts, St. Louis City. It's an important time to recognize that there's a way to go through this process outside of the court system. It's a way to get your attention to try to help folks transition from married in the same household to untying the knot while not blowing through your entire estate and while being able to maintain your family relationships.
It's actually allowing both people to thrive beyond that marriage once it ends. If someone comes to you, a couple comes to you, can you kind of paint a picture? What does this process actually look like? Because I understand there's several professionals that are part of this, trying to help a couple reach their end goal here.
Correct. So if you go through a traditional divorce, it's sort of a one-size-fits-all approach. That's not how this is handled at all. We have child specialists that can be involved. We have communication coaches that can be involved. We have financial experts that can be involved. And of course, each person has their own attorney. But we tailor that. Those experts aren't obviously involved in every single case. It depends on the case and who needs what. But the other key piece to this element of this process is you, the couple, get to tailor how your case looks. The court is not controlling the timeline. The court is not controlling the outcome. The court is not dictating what the rest of your life looks like as far as child support or when you see your children. You and your spouse are doing that.
And what does the success rate look with this?
The success rate is huge. 90% positive results are coming from going through the collaborative process.
Wonderful. And before we let you go, real quick, for people to learn more information about your group specifically, where's the best place for them to go?
stlouiscollaborativelaw.com.
Wonderful. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. If you missed any part of that conversation, don't worry. We will have that up for you at firstalert4.com and, of course, the First Alert 4 news app. This week is the...
So that is the television coverage that we got in St. Louis last year. The St. Louis group worked really hard in several things last year, where they also identified a couple that were willing to be interviewed to talk about their experience in collaborative. And of course, you know, one of the benefits of collaborative is the privacy component. So getting somebody to talk about it is not easy and certainly understandable, but they were willing to talk about it. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch did a story with them. That story ran and then was posted to their syndicate, and it got picked up all over the country. So we're looking for those kind of media opportunities and media connections that people might have, like Ray has, or some of you might have in some other market areas in Florida, where we can try to tap into television coverage, newspaper coverage, radio, whatever that might be, so that we can get the story told. And I can help to coordinate that with you if you have some of those contacts. With this, we'll be doing social media marketing. If you have proclamations and things like that, that creates photo opportunities. But we'll be promoting Divorce with Respect Week beginning around February the 20th through March 9th in social media. We're sending out press releases. We sent the first one announcing participation by FACP in late January, and we had 214 media outlets that picked it up and put it on their websites, and that certainly were aware of it, and it gives us another kind of inroad into trying to get more media coverage out of that. It got picked up also by Google, by AP News. There were television stations and newspapers that picked it up and put it on their website. And we're going to send more press releases that will go out related to proclamations, the podcasts that we do, any media appearances. We will put those out in press release form as well. And then my wife and I have a podcast that we do called the Respectful Divorce Podcast, and we'll be doing that, recording that podcast here in the next week to 10 days, and that will go out through social media and press releases, and we will use snippets of that that we'll send to reporters in an attempt to get the reporters interested in doing this a story on Divorce with Respect Week. We expect to see 600 to 800 collaborative professionals on the Divorce with Respect Week website. Right now in Florida, there are 36 professionals listed on divorcewithrespectweek.com. It's very easy to sign up, and at the end of this little PowerPoint, I'm going to show you where to do that. But you go to divorcewithrespectweek.com, and there's a little tab in the upper right corner that says For Professionals. You fill out your information, and you get listed on the website for Divorce with Respect Week at that point. And it doesn't cost you anything to be listed. We do anticipate 15,000 to 20,000 visits to the website this year. But I talked about it not being about the consultations. We think 100 to 120 consultations. We're spreading information, but when we get all of these professionals listed on the website, that's part of the story that we're telling to the media. We've got all of these divorce professionals all over the country that are willing to do a free consultation during Divorce with Respect Week. And so just by being listed on the site, you're helping us to spread the word about collaborative and about Divorce with Respect Week. And the reason that we don't see that big a percentage of conversions of the visits to consultations is because so many folks are information gathering. They're in the early stages, and we've got lots of information. We've got some podcasts on there. We have a podcast we did with a couple in Southern California recently about their collaborative experience, and they want to tell the world about it. They were so pleased with what happened, how beneficial it was for their daughter. That podcast is on the Divorce with Respect Week site. And so that people can gather that information. They may not be ready to talk to somebody today, but somewhere down the road, if they are ready to talk to somebody, they have learned more about collaborative and they walk in as a potentially informed client. So that is our number one goal here. What are we really trying to do? We want potential clients to walk in asking for a collaborative divorce or having an awareness of collaborative as an option. And I want to say about that, waiting for the client to come in and ask for collaborative is, I think, a mistake. You should always be prepared to talk about it and lead with it, and guide the client there. The client is oftentimes waiting for you to bring it up. And so I would hope that you always bring that up and not wait for the client to do that, to bring it up. Because I hear stories about ships passing in the night when the client was simply waiting for the professional to lead them in that direction. So we have heard some stories about the fact that more clients are walking in asking for collaborative. In Washington, they did their basic training in the fall and had attorneys coming to their training. The training sold out, and they had attorneys coming to the training saying, I have to get trained because I have people coming in and asking for it. And Washington has participated in Divorce with Respect Week for the last several years since we took it national. And they're beginning to see that kind of impact of people coming in asking for the case to be handled collaboratively. Goal number 2, we just want greater brand awareness of collaborative divorce across the board. That the brand of divorce is pretty clear. It's a brand that is unpleasant and is fighting. It's got all of those elements. If we can create a brand awareness of this as a better option, then we are really accomplishing something for the whole collaborative movement. Goal number 3 that we have is, if there is a mom in Los Angeles with a daughter in Miami who is facing the possibility of divorce, they would suggest, hey, I've been hearing about this Divorce with Respect Week thing. You ought to talk to somebody, and you can do it for free. And you go to divorcewithrespectweek.com to do that. We want that kind of coast to coast opportunity to be available. And the goal number 4, which is a long-term goal that I personally have, is I want to turn all of the advice columnists into advocates for collaborative divorce. I want Dear Abby, not just during Divorce with Respect Week, but throughout the year, to say, you really ought to consider collaborative as an option in these advice columnists. We built a list of about 30 to 40 advice columnists that we continue to work to try to get them to talk about collaborative. We've had some success with some advice columnists that you may not know unless they show in your local paper. But one of them in particular was in, if I remember correctly, the article ran in Baltimore, and they talked about collaborative and referred to a blog for the Bridges divorce group, collaborative divorce group in Portland, Oregon, and did a link to that blog. So if we can turn these advice columnists into advocates, that again would be a great accomplishment. So some things to know about Divorce with Respect Week. It is an opportunity for collaborative professionals to speak as one voice in this one time of the year about collaborative divorce as a better way to untie the knot. It creates awareness of collaborative divorce. Visitors go to divorcewithrespectweek.com, and the last year they came from all 50 states and also the District of Columbia. Press releases are sent out to every market that is participating. The best opportunity to make inroads with the media occur when we have a couple that is willing to talk about their experience. That's sometimes a brick wall that we've run into. It's great to have collaborative professionals willing to talk about it, but when we have a couple willing to talk about it, it is something that really does get the media's interest. City, county, and state proclamations are great opportunities for photo shoots, and that proclamations activate government channels for promotion. The Respectful Divorce podcast helps promote Divorce with Respect Week in each area. Social media campaigns promote it and promote proclamations, podcasts, television, and other activities. The National Parents Organization joined the effort last year and is helping to promote it again this year, spreading information out to their subscribers and members. And finally, that this is a national effort to raise awareness of collaborative divorce. It's the opportunity to overcome the existing brand of divorce by spreading information on how to divorce with dignity and respect. So here is my contact information, and I welcome you to reach out to me at any point in time. And if you know media folks, if you know elected officials to be able to get those proclamations, we'll help you with that. We have sample proclamations. We'll help you to get those things done. We can help you with the media coordination. But I would tell you, we can't approach a city council in the same way that you can with you because you're a constituent. We can't approach the media in the same way because we're kind of outsiders doing that. But when you have contacts that can do it, it's a great opportunity to really make some inroads in both of those areas. And so I want to take you now to the Divorce with Respect Week website. Here's where there's information about it. This is where the public goes to find professionals. But for you to sign up, if you come to divorcewithrespectweek.com and then click on For Collaborative Professionals, this is where you go to fill out this form to be listed on the website. So that's the information that I wanted to share with you today about Divorce with Respect Week and how it can benefit you, because this is more than just about bringing somebody in on a one-time basis. This is really about how we all join in building an awareness of collaborative where people are walking in year-round asking for their case to be handled collaboratively. So with that, I'm glad to answer any questions that you all might have. And Randy, I see you raising your hand.
Thanks, Tim. Nice to see you for the second time this week. I'm excited. So a question, the only confusion I have is, do the groups choose the week, or is it one particular week that everybody is engaging in?
It is one.
Where you are.
Yeah, it is one particular week at the beginning of March each year. And that's so that we can have that economy of scale, if you would, of this all going on at the same time to create this voice for collaborative during this 1 week.
That's what I was hoping. Great. And I think when I heard you earlier this week, you spoke about you can't get us the proclamations, but didn't you say you had like a template or something that helps us to get that?
Yes, we do. And I would just tell you that a lot of cities on their website have how to submit for a proclamation.
Okay.
And they may have certain things that they want you to be sure to mention to localize the proclamation. So it's a template, but there are things that need to be done to sort of make it localized.
Great. Thank you so much.
I hope that you all, if you're not already signed up, will sign up. And if you are practicing in more than one state, like Randy or like Catherine, you can be listed in more than one state. So.
Well, I hope that everyone here enjoyed Tim's presentation. I know I did, and I'm very enthusiastic for Divorce with Respect Week. And I hope that everyone in Miami will sign up to be able to do a consultation, because I really think it's a great program. Thank you very, very much, Tim. Anybody else have any questions for Tim? And also, Tim, maybe you could give us a little bit of information about the upcoming FACP presentation. Is
Sure.
it about marketing?
Yes, it is. So my wife and I have actually written a book called Build the Brand and Get More Collaborative Cases. And our presentation really is about brand building. How do we make more people aware of collaborative, and we have what we call a three-tiered strategy for that, and trying to align information that what is said on the FACP site, what's said in the practice group sites, and what's said on your site all align, because you can't get a divorce through FACP. You can't get it through the practice group. You can only get it through the professional. And so we want to make sure that there's an alignment of language and the strategies for doing that, the recommendations that we have developed that we've seen to be pretty successful. We will, for anybody that's going to be attending our presentation, we will have or do an analysis of your website and your collaborative footprint. One of the things that we tell people about that collaborative footprint is don't use collaborative law, don't use collaborative practice, use collaborative divorce. And if there are other collaborative areas of practice, tie the word collaborative to that area of practice. Because the person who's doing a search and is looking for answers, if they see collaborative law, well, I'm looking for a divorce. That's not what they're looking for. Collaborative law. We want to connect them to the practice area of what they need. I would also just tell you that family law is a good term, but searches online, we did a study on this, that searches online 10 to 1 for divorce versus family law. So thinking about the particular area of need is what we want to be focused on, and tie the collaborative term to that area of need.
I want everyone's attention in the chat box, because that's how you can sign up to volunteer for a consultation. I did it while Tim was talking, and it took me 10 seconds. So everybody look in the chat box, just click on it and sign up. Tim, I want to thank you so much. We're really looking forward to your presentation, and we're really looking forward to Divorce with Respect Week. And we thank you very, very much.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I'm looking forward to being in Florida with you at Delray Beach in May.
We are slated for an hour, so if anybody has anything else, otherwise.
Lana, where did you say that was in the chat? I don't see it.
It's in the chat. Yeah, you may have to go back.
Oh, I see it now. Thank you. I see
Yeah,
it.
it's so easy to do. Literally, it took me 10 seconds to sign up, and I know everybody else can sign up also.
It's so
Question, where it says professional collaborative organization on the sign up, are we putting a practice group or our business?
I just put FACP, but I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, you should put either FACP or your practice group.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right, it's easy. Sign up.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
I have a question, Lana. If we are licensed in more than one state, we fill out the form twice and still put our FACP as the relationship?
Yes.
Thanks, Tim.
That has to do with a licensing requirement that CP-Cal, and I didn't touch on this, but CP-Cal wants to make sure that the only people that appear on the site are true collaborative professionals. And so they license practice groups or statewide groups for Divorce with Respect Week, and that's the way to vet the professionals. So your membership is important from the standpoint of that you're vetted through your practice group or statewide membership.
Thank
That's
you,
an
Tim.
important point. We have allied professionals, but you're saying that in this case, you only want licensed professionals to be giving the consultations.
I tend to say yes. It's not really a question that's come up before, but you know, they have to be able to talk about the collaborative process in a consultation. That's the important part of that.
Yes. Okay. Any more questions or concerns or whatever? No. All right, Tim. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you in May.
Yep. All right. Thank y'all.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.